The woman he convinced me was absolutely insane is the woman that he's with now, present day. The reason that my baby doesn't have a father. The fact that this is so heavily going to impact my child's life is why I want to expose this evil, and hopefully my story.
Look, off the bat, you can already tell by her jargon that she's completely selfish. She keeps saying the reason that my baby, my child, is y'all's child. I don't care if he cheated on you with 25 different women. You got to be honest. That's reality. He is your baby's father, so it's y'all's child. They even be trying to avoid it whenever they speak about it, man. It's like, no, the truth is the truth. It's y'all's kid, not just yours.
Story can reach another woman who's in a toxic relationship and encourage her to leave before she has a baby. So just a quick recap. My ex and I were supposed to go out of town. He bailed last minute, wouldn't tell me why. It ended up being that he had a woman come stay at our place while I was gone. She texted me from inside saying, I'm at your house. I basically had a heart attack. He ended up convincing me that she broke in, she scaled the building, broke every photo of us in the place, and that she needed to go to a psych ward. I ended up believing him, and then he ended up booking us a trip to Bali for the next day to reconcile. Mind you, I knew who this woman was because she had been stalking me basically for the entire year, and then it came out that she was also stalking all of my friends. And also, when I got home, I came home to a note from her handwritten saying, I love you, Amanda. So his story of her being crazy was really adding up.
Man, get the fuck out of here. No, it's not, man. Anybody with a singular brain cell would be able to figure out that the story was a lie. And you knew it was a lie too. I don't believe that you fell for it. You didn't believe it either. The key fact that gives it away is you said that he booked a trip to Bali to make up for it. If she's the one that's in the wrong and she broke into the house and she did all this stuff, why would he need to do a reconciliation vacation? Why would he need to do that? Why would he need to make it up to you? Come on now, man. You knew that he was cheating on you and you were okay with it as long as he took you on a nice fancy trip. Let's just call it how it is.
Oh, and did I mention how these two know each other? They met through his first wife. She was his first wife's best friend. Heavy on the was. Why is it always the best friend? So we go to Bali, and honestly, it was a good trip. We had a great time. He was on his best behavior and treated me like a queen. And that is the problem with these relationships. There are such high highs and then such low lows that you become addicted, and that is how they put you into a trauma bond. We get home from Bali to an eviction notice. He had convinced me to move in knowing the rent had not been paid for months and months.
Man, I gotta pause. I don't know if y'all noticed. This is the second time she said that. She said, and go back and listen to it if you didn't hear it the first time. This is the second time she said he convinced me to do something. She said he convinced me that the girl was crazy and that she was nobody to worry about. He wasn't cheating with her, yada, yada, yada. Now she's saying he convinced her to move in with him. She keeps putting it on him. I wouldn't be surprised if later on she says, he convinced me to have unprotected sex and now we have a kid. Zero accountability. She keeps saying, he convinced me. He convinced me. Never once have I heard her say, I was dumb enough to believe, or I should have known better. But let's see if she proves me wrong. Let's see if she says it anywhere in this video.
Mind you, we had spent a very good amount of time looking at homes and we were planning on moving anyways. We had talked about having babies, and so he spun this entire story into a good thing, of course. So we end up staying with family for the whole summer and I get pregnant. In the midst of all of this, somehow all of his money is stolen. That was the story he told me. He said he knew the person who did it and that he would get it back, and his lawyers were on top of it. So now I'm pregnant, and his reaction was horrific. Cops were called, and he ended up leaving me pregnant. Guess where he went? To the woman that he had convinced me was insane and broke into the house and who had been stalking me, except I didn't know that he went there. He convinced me that he went back to Bali, except for that he got...
She said it again. He convinced me that he went back to Bali. No, you're dumb. You're dumb. And she said that the cops were called whenever they broke up. I want to hear about that. She glossed over that super fast. I'm guessing that she called the cops, tried to get him arrested. You know, I don't know, but that's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm guessing.
Had convinced me was insane and broke into the house and who had been stalking me, except I didn't know that he went there. He convinced me that he went back to Bali, except for that he got on a plane, went to Bali, turned around because he made a huge mistake, he realized, and that he was coming right back to me. I FaceTimed him and ended up getting a screenshot of him in the airport, and it honestly looked like Bali, except for later I ended up Google searching the photo. He was in the airport of the city that this woman lives in. So I'm thinking that he went to Bali, that he had a freak out and was just alarmed, and it was unexpected that I was pregnant and all of these other things were going on, and he was extremely stressed. And so I ended up letting him come back for the next part of my pregnancy.
So it sounded like she was actually the stalker. She was on FaceTime with him and she took a picture. She took a screenshot. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with how FaceTime works, but you can't see that much information off. You just get to see the fucking background. And so she screenshotted it, did some detective work. She did the Inspector Gadget on whatever little information she could pull from it and found out which airport he was at based on the FaceTime screenshot. That's crazy detective work. That's stalker. You're the stalker. Throughout this entire video, she kept saying, he convinced me that he was moving to Bali. He convinced me to not worry about this woman. He convinced me to move in with him. He convinced me. Not once did I hear her say that I made a mistake. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I didn't hear it once. You know, it's unfortunate that there's a kid that's going to be placed in the middle of this nonsense and this toxic relationship, but this is happening every single day, man. People not prioritizing kids no more. This is just, they're byproducts. The kids are just byproducts of failed relationships. And then the kids grow up to be failures because the parents didn't want to do nothing about it. This is where I'm going to leave the video off. I'll leave this lady's TikTok account linked in the description so you can go check out her content if you'd like. I always give credit to the content creators that I react to. The one thing that I learned from watching this video is take accountability. Not once did she take accountability for anything. She could have at least said one thing that she did wrong, but I didn't hear anything. So take accountability. Always look and self-reflect and say, what could I have changed to make something different? But yeah, before you leave, don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this video in the comment section. That's it for this one. I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.